It's about how we get up after a natural disaster that counts. And if you have your home on the market right now, you're probably wanting to know what to do after disaster hits your home. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about 7 things that you can do right now, along with 8 steps that your agent can take to better help you out. My name is Andrew Finney, your real estate geek. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, my contact info is below. If you're new here, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. Tap the bell icon to get notified of the next one. Thank you. Okay team, let's take a closer look at this. In specific, there's 7 things that you as a homeowner can do if your home is on the market, and even if your home isn't on the market, there's those steps that you want to follow and to assess with your current property. The first thing that's going to happen immediately following the disaster is that emergency professionals are going to quickly start going into rescue mode of those that were trapped or in dire need of medical services. They're going to attend to the wounds, they're going to attend to the injuries, they're going to attend to the casualties that are there, and that is the top priority, mission number 1. The second thing after that is tended to is restoring power and providing access to potable water and providing other needed supplies such as food, blankets, and diapers, and shelter where they're able to assist. Once that's completed, then what will happen next with the third step is they'll start the cleanup efforts and start assessing the damage to the city and how to get everything up and running again as you rebuild your life as well. The second thing to assess is the property safe. It's important to note that going back to your property immediately after the event could be dangerous. You need to be very, very cautious because there's a lot of hazards that may be present, including down power lines, venomous snakes swimming in flood waters if it was flooded, if it was a tornado, if you could have gas leak, if it was a wildfire, who knows what could have been released into the atmosphere whenever everything was burning. So it's very, very important to note that. In the case of flooding, you can have damaged tree limbs, mudslides, toxic mold, and structures that can actually collapse. And when you think about earthquakes, a collapsing structure is not completely unheard of in the aftermath. The third point is what happens to properties that were under contract at the time that the disaster struck. Now, if your property was able to pull through after the disaster and managed to be unscathed, there's several different things to consider here. There's a number of issues that could possibly kill the deal. It's very common for buyers to want to cancel the deal and or ask for a price adjustment. In other words, like a price reduction afterwards if they still want to stay in it. If you're within the inspection or loan contingency periods, the buyers may be able to simply exercise their option to cancel and back out of the contract altogether and get their earnest money deposit back and maybe choose an entirely different area. Even if everyone wants to stay in the deal, expect some lender delays and other issues to slow down the process. To close a deal, everyone must be willing to adjust to a longer closing period, so a little bit of patience here is going to be paramount. A little bit of understanding and compassion towards each other as everybody works to rebuild and move forward is going to be needed. Keep in mind that your local lenders and title companies sustain significant damage as well, so they're still trying to get everything tended to with their business, and the employees of that business may have had their house collapse or have issues with their home and may not have been so fortunate as to have their homes pull through the storm unscathed. So you got to keep in mind that everybody's trying to get up and running at this point. The fourth point is possible insurance issues. Let's take, for example, a flood. Now, what is needed after a flood? Obviously, you got to wait for the waters to subside. People are going to be filing a lot of claims with FEMA and their insurance companies, and this could present issues because those people that were uninsured or those people that are under contract right now will need flood insurance. Well, generally what happens after a major disaster, especially a flood, is that the flood insurance companies will issue a moratorium that will not allow anybody to get flood insurance for a designated amount of time. Now, if you're under contract, this is where that patience comes into play because they will lift the moratorium. At the same time, it's going to take some time, and a lot of people aren't going to be able to close on their home unless they had private securities or cash to purchase the home. So a little bit of patience here, a little bit of working together as a team will see the deal close. The fifth thing is to identify any lending issues. Now let's use a wildfire as an example on this point. So let's say that you were under contract for a short sale, foreclosure, or even a traditional sale, right? And let's say that a lot of the homes burnt up around that property. What can happen is if the comparables no longer exist or the valuations have changed because there's no property where it used to exist, there's only the raw land and it's a destroyed structure, then what can happen is that can really devastate the property value in the area if the appraisers don't have anything to comp against. So the challenge for any lender is actually determining the actual value after a catastrophic event. Lenders are likely to require a thorough inspection of the property plus a new appraisal after the catastrophes happen. The issue is that inspectors and contractors will be stretched to the limit because of the magnitude of damage in the area, and everybody will need again to have a little bit of patience and exercise their compassion and working together and keeping everything moving forward with a thoughtful mind and understanding and compassion towards one another. The sixth point is what happens if the property is damaged. So if the property is damaged and the buyers still want it, you will need to prepare everyone in the transaction for a very, very, very long wait. Let's say that the insurance company might take up to 3 years, 5 years in some cases, depending on what happens. It's highly advisable to have a public insurance adjuster help you out to speed up your claim so then you can go ahead and start rebuilding the property. As a caveat, even though parties could wait to settle the insurance claims before they close, a better option might be having the sellers assign the insurance proceeds to the buyer. If the buyer was planning on remodeling or upgrading the property anyways, it could work out in their benefit so that they can start making that home the way that they want with the insurance money that would be collected as a result of the catastrophe. It's also important to look for a whole new wave of flippers that are getting back in the market. Where there's catastrophe, there's also opportunity. Everything in life is a balance. So whenever you have immense devastation, you also have immense opportunity. Flippers will get back in the market and start rebuilding properties or cleaning up properties and getting them back on the market and helping the market rebound overall. The seventh thing is, will the prices implode or explode? Historically speaking, properties will normally take a major hit following a catastrophic event. Now, there is a wild card here. Take, for example, some very high value areas or areas of very popular demand. What can happen is that undamaged properties could actually shoot up in value. Rents will also explode as displaced homeowners are looking for places to live. So it's important to understand the trade-offs and what's going to happen. Now, there's 8 things that your listing agent could do and 8 things that agents can do to assist you and the community in rebuilding their efforts. The first one is to donate to the relief efforts. They can donate money, they can donate time, they can donate resources, whatever the relief efforts are asking for. Many real estate agents across the United States believe in helping their communities and are an actionable part of the relief efforts. They're kind of an unsung hero along with many other kind souls and kind people that are out there being good Samaritans. Let's work together and help each other rebuild and see each other through to better days. The second thing that your agent can do is to determine if anyone they know is willing to rent out any rooms in their home or if they have a property that might be available. Now, this isn't an opportunity to start gouging people, but this is an opportunity to try to provide shelter to those that were displaced or give them rent free, whatever the case may be. Now, it's still important to use due diligence during this period as you would with any other rental property. The third thing real estate agents can do is use their social media accounts to gather the community together and help each other know where to go to get help. Help each other know where to go and what the links are and the reference points are and the locations are for relief efforts. There's so many things that we can do via social media. Let's use it for a power of good to help each other out. The fourth thing is they can encourage anyone with a damaged property to immediately file a claim with the insurance company to get ahead of the onslaught of insurance claims that are going to happen anyways. So it's important to go ahead and get that done as quickly as possible. I've made another video about steps to take to file an insurance claim. I suggest you watch it so it can help you out. Hopefully it helps you and you're able to get with a good public insurance adjuster to help speed your claim along. The fifth thing they can do is review the offerings that are available on FEMA and the programs that are being extended to that area and push them through on the social media channels so everybody knows where to go to get help. The sixth thing that they can do is to avoid assuming that a seller or buyer may no longer wish to continue with the deal. And if there is conflict, then what they can do is reach out to their management and also their corporate attorneys if necessary to help mitigate and resolve any misunderstandings. The seventh thing is that investors tend to be opportunists. It's important to let investors know what's going on in the market. Look for cash buyers to be aggressively pursuing new opportunities created by the devastation. The eighth thing that you and your real estate agent can do is take a step back and have some time for yourself. You're both going to be traumatized after the event, so it's important to let everything settle in. Take a deep breath, reassess, regroup, and re-strategize moving forward in a very healthy and productive way. Be sure to be kind and supportive of your fellow community members and make sure that we're all there to serve each other and help each other as we rebuild our lives together. Now, here's what I'd like you to do is tell us what you're thinking about this video in the comment section below, along with any tips that you may have of what to do immediately following a natural disaster or a man-made disaster. Help us continue to learn and grow together and share any resources that you're aware of so that people know where to go to get help immediately following a disaster. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pop up my contact information if you want to drop me a line to say hello, or if you need help finding a top agent where you live, please let me know. Always love to hear from you, always here to help you. Thank you. If you haven't already done so, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Number 1, please subscribe to this channel. Number 2, please like this video. Number 3, please share this video around with someone you know it's going to be a help, because I'm sure that you can think of somebody right now that could really use this information to know what to do next after a disaster. Please share it with them. Thank you. In between now and next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. Thank you for watching today, team, and enjoy an amazing day.